Imagine it's the beginning of winter, 10,000 years ago. The air is getting colder every day. The trees are losing their leaves. Animals are becoming harder to find. You don't have a warm house. You don't have a heater. You don't even have a thick winter jacket. If you were an ancient human, winter could be the most dangerous time of your entire life. Today, when we're cold, we simply go indoors. But ancient humans lived directly in nature. Every cold wind, every snowstorm, and every freezing night was a serious threat. A single mistake could mean death. That's why ancient humans spent months preparing before winter arrived. As summer ended, tribes worked harder than ever. Hunters searched for animals. Gatherers collected nuts, berries, roots, and anything edible. Food wasn't just for today, it was for the months ahead. Because once winter arrived, finding food became much harder. The forests became quiet. Many animals migrated away. Plants stopped growing. The world suddenly became much less generous. Ancient humans understood something very important. Winter wasn't something you survived during. Winter was something you prepared for long before it arrived. The tribes that prepared well survived. The tribes that didn't often disappeared. But food was only one problem. The cold itself was a deadly enemy, and ancient humans needed a powerful weapon to fight it. That weapon was fire. Without fire, winter could quickly become a death sentence, and keeping that fire alive would become one of the most important jobs in the entire tribe. For ancient humans, fire wasn't just useful, it was everything. Imagine a freezing winter night 10,000 years ago. The temperature keeps dropping, cold winds sweep across the landscape, snow covers the ground, and somewhere in the darkness, predators are searching for food. Without fire, your tribe would be in serious danger. Fire provided warmth. It dried wet clothing. It allowed people to cook food. It scared away wolves, bears, and other dangerous animals. Most importantly, it helped people survive freezing temperatures. That's why ancient tribes treated fire like a treasure. Someone was often responsible for watching it, day and night. If the fire went out during a storm, restarting it could be extremely difficult. Remember, there were no matches, no lighters, no gas stoves. Making a new fire required skill, patience, and sometimes luck. Ancient humans rubbed pieces of wood together or struck stones to create sparks. It could take a long time, and during winter, every minute without fire felt dangerous. The tribe gathered around the flames every evening. People shared stories, parents comforted their children, hunters discussed their plans for the next day. The fire became the center of life, but staying warm required more than just fire. Ancient humans also needed protection from the cold itself. They used animal skins and fur to create clothing. A successful hunt could provide not only food, but also warm materials for the entire tribe. Large animal hides became blankets, furs became coats, leather became shoes. Nothing was wasted. Every part of an animal could help someone survive. Yet even with warm clothing and fire, winter remained a constant threat. Because eventually, every tribe faced the same terrifying question. What happens when the food starts running out? And for many ancient humans, that was the hardest challenge of all. As winter grew colder, finding food became more difficult every day. The berries were gone. Most plants had died. The rivers sometimes froze, and many animals had disappeared into distant lands. Yet your tribe still needed to eat. Every single day, hunger became a constant companion. You woke up hungry, you went to sleep hungry, and sometimes there wasn't enough food for everyone. The hunters faced enormous pressure. A successful hunt could mean survival for the entire tribe. A failed hunt could mean days of hunger. Imagine tracking an animal through deep snow. The cold bites your face, your feet are numb, every step drains your energy, yet you continue moving because your family is depending on you. Ancient hunters often followed animal tracks for hours, sometimes even days. They searched for deer, elk, wild horses, and other large animals. When a hunt succeeded, the tribe celebrated, not because they were happy, but because they would survive a little longer. Nothing from the animal was wasted. The meat became food, the skin became clothing, the bones became tools. Even the tendons could be used to make strong cords and ropes. Every part had value. Ancient humans were experts at using every resource available to them. Sometimes, tribes stored food whenever possible. Dried meat could last much longer than fresh meat. Nuts could be saved for difficult times. Certain roots could survive cold weather and remain edible. These small food supplies often made the difference between life and death. But winter wasn't only dangerous because of hunger. Another invisible enemy was waiting, an enemy that killed thousands of ancient humans. That enemy was sickness. And without modern medicine, even a small illness could become deadly. Winter wasn't just a battle against the cold, it was also a battle against disease. Today, if you get sick, you can visit a doctor, you can take medicine, you can rest in a warm bed. But 10,000 years ago, none of those options existed. A simple infection could become deadly, a small cut from a sharp stone, a wound from a hunting accident, even a broken bone could mean disaster. Ancient humans had no antibiotics, no hospitals, no emergency treatment. The body had to fight alone, and sometimes it lost. Winter made everything worse. People spent more time close together around fires and inside shelters. This made it easier for illnesses to spread. If one person became sick, others often followed. Children faced the greatest danger. Their bodies were smaller and weaker. Many children never survived their first few winters. For parents, winter could be heartbreaking. Every cold season brought uncertainty. Would everyone survive until spring? Nobody knew. Ancient humans did have some knowledge of healing. They used certain plants, roots, and herbs. Some helped reduce pain. Others may have helped treat minor illnesses. But their knowledge was limited. Nature was their pharmacy. And nature didn't always provide a cure. Life expectancy was much shorter than it is today. Many people died young. Yet despite these dangers, humans continued to survive. Why? Because they had something more powerful than strength. They had cooperation. Families supported each other. Hunters shared food. Elders shared knowledge. Everyone worked together. No one survived winter completely alone. Human teamwork became one of the greatest survival tools ever created. And as winter slowly began to fade, a new season appeared on the horizon, spring. For those who survived, it felt like a miracle. But getting to spring was never guaranteed. And the final weeks of winter were often the hardest of all. After months of freezing temperatures, hunger, and constant danger, something finally begins to change. The days become a little longer. The sun stays in the sky a little later. The snow starts to melt. And for ancient humans, these small changes meant hope. Spring was returning, but the end of winter was often the most difficult period of all. By now, food supplies were nearly gone. Hunters had fewer resources. Everyone was tired. Everyone was hungry. The tribe had spent months fighting to stay alive. Many people were physically weaker than before, yet they still had to keep going. As the ice melted, rivers began flowing again. Animals slowly returned to the region. Plants started growing from the ground. For the first time in months, finding food became easier. The world seemed alive again. Ancient humans understood something important. They had survived another winter, and that was never guaranteed. Every winter tested their intelligence, their courage, their teamwork, their ability to adapt. The strongest person didn't always survive. The smartest didn't always survive. The people who worked together had the best chance. That lesson helped humans spread across the entire planet, from frozen mountains to vast forests and open grasslands. Winter was one of nature's greatest challenges, yet our ancestors faced it again and again. They learned how to make fire, how to build shelters, how to create warm clothing, how to hunt efficiently, and how to support one another during the hardest times. Without those skills, human civilization might never have existed. The cities we live in today, the technology we use every day, the comfortable homes we take for granted. All of it became possible because ancient humans survived countless winters long ago. So the next time you step inside a warm house on a cold winter day, take a moment to think about your ancestors. 10,000 years ago, they faced the same cold. But they faced it with nothing more than fire, animal skins, simple tools, and each other. And somehow, against all odds, they survived.